y'all, I'm Hope at Crafty Hope, and welcome to day 33 of ICAD. I'm going to do a quick explanation. ICAD is Index Card a Day. It's a challenge from Tammy Garcia from Daisy Yellow, in which you take an index card, and each day in June and July, so 61 days, you'll alter another card. You can do anything you want, any kind of art on it you want. Tammy does offer up weekly themes and daily prompts to spark your creative interest, or even just give you a bit of a challenge if that's what you want. And my friend Nina Fickett also has some prompts that she has that are called Mixed Media ICAD prompts. And sometimes I use these and sometimes I don't. So I have been trying to, as for additional challenge for myself, been trying to use up a couple boxes of scraps that I have because, I don't need 2 boxes of scraps, y'all. I actually have another third box across the room, but we're not going to talk about that one. I've been concentrating on the 2 I keep close to my desk because I really just don't need 2 of them. So I'm trying to use them up by collaging them down. It's a great way for me to start a card and get some texture and accents and interest down and inspire me a little bit more. I'm just using my Oohoo glue stick for these for the most part, and that's been working great. Now let me tell you what the prompts are. Today the Daisy Yellow prompt is quatrefoil or Ogee, and the Mixed Media ICAD prompt is Drywall Tape. Now you can see I'm pulling that out now. There's my drywall tape. This is called Drywall Joint Tape. I love this tape. This one is like a sticker. It has a back that you peel off. And I'll have a link below to it if I can find it on Amazon. But I love this stuff because it gives amazing texture to whatever you're working on. So the next thing I'll use is, I think it's the Ogee prompt. It's not the quatrefoil. But it's that stencil that you see I've got there. That's, I think, an Ogee shape. I believe Tammy used this prompt either last year or the year before, because I remember seeing it, but I couldn't remember what it was. I had to look it up again. I knew it was some kind of pattern. So I decided to use that stencil with some texture paste that I've created using a couple different things. This is something I've learned from Kate Thompson, and possibly even maybe, I can't remember if it's Gina. Anyway, it's some texture paste I've made using joint compound? Just some things that offer texture. And so I'm going to tape this down on top of my nonstick craft sheet. I'm trying to keep it, where I could clean up any of the mess and overage. And I'm using, that is like a scraping tool of some kind from the Dollar Tree. And I'm going to tell you, I pre-recorded this. I am actually out of town. I should be coming back this evening. So when y'all watch this, I should probably be on my way home. And so hopefully tomorrow I'll actually have a one that was recorded that day. We'll see. It is the 4th of July tomorrow. So we'll see how things progress for me. So I did use this other palette knife too to kind of get some more texture on there, because that other scraper tool had a lot of rough edges on it. So, all right, so I peeled all of this up. I did let it air dry a little, but I did use my heat gun, so to speed this up, because I wanted to get on with this and get this recorded for y'all. So I grabbed some Amsterdam ink, and I believe that's light olive, I believe. What is it? Olive green light. I love this color. It's a fabulous mossy olivey green. It's gorgeous. And I wanted to see if I could pick up some of the texture of that Ogee shape. And so I watered that ink down just a little bit, put it on my card. I left some white space. And then, as you saw, sprayed it with some more water and let it move around on my card. And I'm going to heat dry this real quick. And then I decided I hadn't really played with my Distress Oxide in Rusty Hinge. I love some rusty yumminess. So I sprayed that down. And I'm not adding any water here. I'm just moving it around. And then I'm going to dry it real quick. And I'm going to go ahead and tell you, I do spray some water here because since it is a distressed product, it is water reactive, and sometimes water will pick up and you can get some of those water spots kind of on there. So I tried to do that, and I'm going to dry it. This card, y'all, was all about the texture for me. Yesterday, I don't know, I didn't have as much texture in 3D elements, I guess, on that card, and I really wanted something that had a little more oomph to it. So I think that's why I went with this texture paste today. And I had so much yummy texture on there. I was trying to find ways to accentuate it. So I put down a little gesso, and I'm using a dry brush technique, trying to pick it up with the white of the gesso. And it's really not working. So I'm going to switch and grab. See, I tried a couple different brushes to see if the white would work, and it's not. So I'll grab, what did I grab? Lukas acrylic ink and Payne's gray to see if a dark color would pick it up. And that is going to work a little bit more to at least get some of it. And I get lost. If you've seen some of my assemblage videos where I do like a textured and dark background, y'all know I love picking up the texture of things. It's, oh, y'all, it's just so yummy. And this texture paste really did give a lot of texture. You'll see that. I've got some detail photos at the end. Please stick through and see the texture that I got out of this, because it's so yummy. All right, so again, I'm using that dry brush, and just lightly, that dry brush does not have a whole lot of paint on there. If I had a lot of paint on there, I would be painting this. I'm really just trying to get that texture. So I am going all over it. Yep. And I spend a little time with this because, like I said, it's one of my favorite things to do. And I could just sit and dry brush over texture for ages and ages. It's my jam. So I think I'm coming to the end. I'm trying to make sure to leave some white space on here. I didn't want this to get too muddied. And then I think, I do go around the outside edges with some of that paint that's there on my desk, just to darken that up and frame it. And of course, I'm getting paint all over my fingers. I'm going to get it all over some other things here in a minute because it's just there on my desk. I'm a mess, y'all. Such a mess. I'm in the process of actually right now trying to pack for the trip that I'll be coming home from today. So, yeah. All right, so I grabbed some cheesecloth. This is just from the Dollar Tree, and I'm trimming down a bit. And I know that's several layers there, so I peel those layers apart a little. And I've got one long piece and one short piece. I know the short piece is all I need. So I'm kind of just bunching it and moving it around. And I'm like, I know that's what I'm going to use. And I grab my Tim Holtz quote chips. These are the Theories one. They're the newer ones. I've got the original ones and the new ones. So these are the new ones. And I find almost immediately I see collect beautiful moments. And I'm like, that'll work. So, because I was digging this texture, and it was for me, it was a lot about being in the moment of pulling out that texture. So, but it was so white and ungrungy. I mean, I like that it's got the white and so it pops, but I needed it grunged up a little. And do you see what I did there, y'all? I put it right into that paint that I had on my desk. Yeah, I'm a mess. So I splattered that watered down ink onto my quote chip as well as onto my card there. And I'm trying to clean up my mess. And I'm going to try this real quick. All right, and after I tried it, I decided to pull out a couple things. One is this Art Alchemy. It's from Prima. It's a wax, and I use it a lot. Like I said, in my assemblage projects. And you can use a dry brush. I'm just using my finger because I'm being lazy, and I'm going over that texture. Again, you will see this so much better in the close-up photos at the end than you're gonna see in here on the camera, but. So I'm going over that. I've also pulled out some Distress Oxide, also in Rusty Hinge, that I'll go in a second and go around the outside of that quote chip just to give it a frame as well. So y'all, I could have just kept, can you see some of that? Oh, it's so good. So I'm going to go around, like I said, this quote chip just a little bit to frame it up, give it some of that same Rusty Hinge color on it that's on the card, so that it will stand out a little bit more on that white cheesecloth. I'm sorry for the ums today. I don't know what's up with me. I think I'm just getting anxious. All right, so that is all done. I've kind of worked in that Rusty Hinge ink, and I'm pulling out my matte gel medium to stick all this down. Now I'm going to use, y'all, this next tool is It is, I think it's for like frosting cakes. I got it at the Dollar Tree in the cake section. Or the, it's the event section, like the party section. They've got some cake decorating tools. Yeah, I like that little splatter thing. So I've stuck down my cheesecloth and I'm looking to make sure where I want to put my quote chip. And I'm going to go ahead and just stick it down and then I'll weigh it down for a minute so that everything is good and stuck. And then I'm going to give you a look at all of this beautifulness. I hope you enjoyed this. If you did, make sure to give me a thumbs up. And if you're not subscribed, I invite you to go ahead and hop on there and subscribe. All right, y'all, thank you so much for sticking through this with me and come back tomorrow, hopefully, and see what I've got going on. Bye.